Okay.
Wait, is that what that's for?
So before we introduce everybody,
go
we're going to kick off with a kind of a unique video that's going to bring everybody up to speed on how things have been going for the gang. So, roll it. Alright, now that's going to be the first thing you see when you fire up the game, which is due out very, well, not that soon, but this fall. And let me tell you the people that are actually going to bring it to you. So starting at the very end and working my way this way, we've got Armin Shimmerman, who is the voice of Nefarious. James Arnold Taylor, who is the voice of
Why am I next to this guy? Jeez.
He doesn't do voices, but he does a lot of other things. Brian Allgaier, who's creative director at Insomniac Games. The dude that makes the words, TJ Fixman, the writer. The air traffic controller for the deal, the project manager, Brian Bernal. And last but not least is Joey Doria, who is the voice of Asma. Alright, so clearly you guys know the series and you guys know where they're at. If you didn't, the video just brought you up to speed. So, fill us in on what you guys did to make this latest entry in the series, which, nice little cliffhanger that everybody's expecting a lot from, so hit it.
When we started thinking about A Crack in Time, we really wanted to wrap up the story arc that we had begun with the first game, Tools of Destruction, for the PlayStation 3. And we had two big cliffhangers, and a lot of feedback that we got from you folks were, why the cliffhangers? We want to know we want a satisfying ending, something that really kind of wraps it up. So for this one, we really wanted to give you folks a lot of the questions that were raised in Tools of Destruction, in some of the earlier games, and especially Crack in Time, and kind of let you know why all these events have occurred, what happened to the Lombaxes, and really reveal a lot more about both Ratchet and Clank.
Absolutely. I think what we kind of set out to do when me and Brian first started talking about what kind of story to make, we really wanted to kind of grow up a little bit in our storytelling, but still keep the Ratchet and Clank DNA, which is to still kind of keep the irreverent humor, the soft science, the fun characters, that little bit, while still kind of really talking about the relationship between Ratchet and Clank. Do their destinies really lie together, or because they've been together for so long, is it time for them to kind of go out and do their own thing and have their own adventures? So this was really a great opportunity for us all of us, I think, to write kind of like a love letter to the franchise and wrap up a lot of the missing threads, revisit everything that people have been asking about, like the Angela question, what happened to Max Apogee, what happened to Ratchet's parents, all that kind of stuff. So this was the time that we took to actually pay it all off in spades.
I think one of the things too is, we felt like we focused more on Ratchet with Tools of Destruction, and we certainly saw his side of the journey in Quest for Booty. And so with The Crack in Time, it gave us an opportunity to focus a lot more on Clank and really talk more about him. And we're going to reveal some stuff about his origins and more about why he is who he is in this game. And so that lets us both focus in terms of story and gameplay on his existence and some key characters that are part of it.
Clank, 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 that's all I hear. Why didn't you do anything about Nefarious? Yeah, we really want some of your backstory, buddy. We want to know why you're so angry. Who's angry? Hasn't had his coffee yet.
So yeah, Nefarious is definitely back, as you can tell, and wants to annihilate both Ratchet and Clank. And, we could have gone the route of the typical just the revenge plot, but we actually wanted to make Nefarious's motivation a lot deeper and give him another angle on why he's doing what he's doing in this story.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can imagine all the yelling that we put Armin through over 8 or 9 months of recording, it was incredible getting it done.
What yelling?
It's for your voice. Yeah, we wanted to keep what's still kind of fun about Nefarious, which is that he's always at either a 10, if not an 11, unfortunately, for Armin. But still give him kind of like a fun, kind of crazy B-movie villain motivation other than revenge. Because we see revenge all the time. We see the dictator trying to take over the universe all the time. We've certainly done that in past games. But I think we really found something that's really nefarious-like. That's something that gives Ratchet a lot to play off of, and at the end really makes for a kind of fun story.
As far as the story goes, you're talking about just tying up all the loose threads. How much of this was actually planned from when the series started, and how much of this kind of got made up as you went along and now tied up?
Honestly, it's a little bit of column A and a little column B. There were things that we thought of, maybe not from the very first game, but certainly from Tools Destruction and from Up Your Arsenal for sure. The Angela thing, it's not a huge part of RCF2, but we wanted to give the answer to fans. If you look hard enough, you'll find it. But there wasn't, when we were doing Tools Destruction, me and Brian Hastings sat down and we started going through all these kinds of questions about what Angela is and what happened to her. But at the end of the day, we decided that we had to focus on Tachyon. We'd rather focus on Kronk and Zephyr and what's happening between Ratchet and Clank. So we were just waiting for a good time to wrap it all up.
All right. Now, obviously, new story, new places, new characters. Now, there is a video that you guys want to show off of a brand new one. Do we want to hit that now? Totally can't see it, so I'm missing We're very grateful to your art team. It's not that you're not immensely talented, Brian, but the new stuff is better.
You were just saying it was like a Captain Quark crayon.
That's Captain Quark.
Now, let's talk about the rest of the characters in this game, because you guys have the benefit of almost having a blank canvas because you're in a whole other part of the galaxy. So talk to us about how you make everything fit, because we've got some of the folks that are playing new characters and reviving old ones. How's that all work, and how do these characters come to life?
Well, it's quite a process, where we go back and forth. We look at a lot of different things. We look at the story factors, the gameplay factors, and see how they can kind of work together to form these characters. And it's kind of an interesting process where, like for Asmod's character, we wanted this kind of badass Lombax that Ratchet would kind of look up to and have a mentor. And then we started listening to some auditions from the actors, and we listened to Joey's audition, and it had a very kind of warm feeling, and we kind of liked how that sort of countered this badass look. He was like this tough guy, but he has a heart. And so, Joey would then watch some of the rough animations, and kind of, that would help influence his performance. And of course, the animators would animate to his dialogue, and that would influence there. So it's definitely a very collaborative process between the actors, the artists, the animators, the designers, and it's very key just to iterate on these characters.
Definitely, and I have to say he nailed it out of the park on this one. If you watch Asmod, he really is. He's like a lot of times in the previous games, our characters were they just had something fun. There's one that kind of funny joke that we used to pay off over and over. But Asmod it actually comes off as a very deep, very layered character that has he's got a sense of humor, he's very fatherly, but when he goes into battle, he's got this strength about him. Joey did an amazing job on it.
Let's talk about the returning folks down at the end. This is a lot easier for you now, whereas for Joey, he was a little new to this universe. Have your characters changed much over the course of the series?
I think I do a little bit more shouting now than I used to. It becomes more of a caricature almost within it, right? Yeah. Everybody grows, and we all get bigger and louder and angrier. No, the character, I think, actually is more fun than he originally did. I think originally he was much more of a villain per se. Now, as in most of my villains, they become comic villains. Yeah, I think with Ratchet it's been great because we've done so many different projects with him now. We've gotten to a great, I use this as a positive, a comfort zone for me, to where, now it's a joke when we go in. They go, do you want to hear a reference, James? Because a lot of times, a lot of my work is, rarely am I doing my own voice. If I'm doing Obi-Wan Kenobi for the Clone Wars, I might talk like that. Or if I'm doing Frank Flintstone, I'm right there. Or Johnny Test, I'm up here, and nobody ever guesses, the helium factor there. So for Ratchet, I get to be me. And so they go, you want to hear the reference? Yeah, let's take a listen to the reference. And it's just me being me, which is great. So Ratchet has fallen into this place now. And I think also Ratchet has grown up a bit, right? He's not as
full of himself anymore. I am still, but he is not, and he's teaching me, as well as Clank is teaching me, to hold back and to accept the hero mantle, I guess, right?
Yeah, and just to add to that, you know, it's like early in the series, you know, Ratchet was a bit cocky, he was very impulsive, he was just kind of led by what was the next cool events, you know, go to the arena, blow stuff up. But now he's, you know, definitely more on a search, he's more on a quest to find out more about himself. He still, you know, at the same time is a bit impulsive, loves blowing stuff up. But we wanted to add a bit more depth, you know, for the story for Ratchet and for Nefarious.